So when you're a baker, so you gotta go to the skate park, especially when you skate that rail.
Oh, did you cut these out? Yeah. That's cool. Oh, sick. Wow. Custom grip. Trying to make it look like a water drop. It looks good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Skate up.
Thank you.
Take a seat. Look at that. Yeah. One of the original daggers right here. Gotta get the steps.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Of course.
Look at that coping.
Bands never mind. Rolling.
Bands. Go around. Thank you, brother, for all the skateboarding members.
Appreciate it. God bless you. God bless you. And let's keep shredding another 100 years.
And make it better for the kids.
Yep, you know it.
All right. Even
All the
if
way
you
to
keep
eternity.
getting knocked out.
These are all real, by the way.
Mine was the first big seat in one of these on Daisy Street.
What are you doing? Getting the boy? The best part about it.
I made it funny. Look at and I'm talking to this side. I said I made it funny on this side.
Next, Jerry.
Right here. Steve, right here. Thank you. Which one?
As a young boy, I would look in the magazine and see the Dogtown and Z-Boys with Vans tennis shoes on, one red, one blue, all these different colors. And I know I went to the store on Torrance and Crenshaw and custom ordered a pair of the, what was it, basketball one? The high top?
It was a low BB.
It was like
It was
a,
like a Converse.
yeah, and it was a very good shoe. Anyway, we have Steve Caballero here, who, you know, as we all know, he needs no introduction. And Steve Alba, the legend, who won the first professional vert pool contest with his knowledge of what he needed to do to win. And I didn't even know who he was at the time. He was such a young kid. And he came in and just dominated and took first place. Christian wanted to get one for Lonnie Hiramoto, my best friend that I've known since 1977. World champion. Legendary young man. He won the biggest contest of the year in '78. Well, no, maybe not the biggest, but the most important one because it was on the CBS Sports Spectacular at the Runway Skate Park in Carson. And it was with it. Steve took third place. I took second, and it was the first nationally televised vert contest. It was kind of like the X Games. It had full pipe, it had the big bowl, it had a vert ramp, it had high jump, bank freestyle, bank slalom. So it's, here we go.
Let's go.
How you guys doing today?
Right.
Are you guys stoked to be here?
You're in the presence of legends right here. These guys have done more for the sport than most people. And I just want to start with Steve Van Doren. Steve Van Doren has been he is an icon. He's in the Hall of Fame. And for him to have, you know, this moment of presentation of a ring, it just honors the man who has done so much for skateboarding. You guys who skateboard, you know, you're passionate about what you do. You love what you do. You did it. You fell down. You got hurt. You got back up and you kept skating. Well, Steve, he made it possible for all of us to grow skateboarding, to put the shoes on our feet. Like me, Steve, and Steve, we all wear Vans because not only is it a cool company, not only is it one of the oldest companies, but they're actually the best shoe to skateboard in. Come on, does anybody know that? So it's not just about fashion, it's about function, and the skateboarders are the ones that validated Steve and his father, Paul, the late great senior Paul. And for skateboarders to identify with the product and say, we want these shoes, but it wasn't just that, it was Steve and his father that said, you know what, skateboarders love our shoes. There was a boat company before this. It was like boat shoes. And when skateboarders got a hold of them, they said, no, these are the best shoes on the planet for skateboarding. And they recognize this. This is one thing about Steve that probably doesn't get enough recognition. It's that he's a visionary. He saw it. He saw how important skateboarding was. He probably loves skateboarding more than 95% of the people in this room. And you know, I promise you, I travel with him, I've been with him, I know his heart for skateboarding and what he does, how he invests, the company Vans, how they did the Vans Park series, how they support guys like us, the legends, who travel around the world representing a brand that believes in skateboarders and believes in people like Steve Alba and Steve Caballero, myself. And so, Steve, man, it's just an honor to be able to say anything about you, you know what I mean, and say how much I love you. You're an amazing person. He's a man of work ethics. This guy works harder probably than everybody in this room, including, well, I'm not the hardest worker, but I tell you, I try my best now. Because, you know, my life has been changed. I got a second chance, you know what I mean? I could have lost it many times, but to see him as an example of how to work hard and to be a role model, to be a leader for a company like Vans, to fight for the brand that he's been fighting for, him and his father, the ups and downs that they've had in their company, but they believed in the Van Doren spirit. They believed in Vans, the company, and they have fought tooth and nail, and they have won the war for this company, and it's all because of Steve Van Doren and his family, Christy and his team, everyone who he chooses, and you know, we get to be a part of that. And so I just want to say congratulations, Steve, on everything. And I know that this isn't the end. We're still growing, you know, the culture of skateboarding. So give it up for Steve Van Doren.
My dad first started, I was the youngest person at Vans at 10 years old. Now I'm the oldest person at Vans, going to be 70 this year. And it's still matter. Having family, you know, that my daughter's down at Jack's Pro, sponsored by Vans, on the beach today. Peter's family, who's here, works with Vans all this time. But, you know, over the years, right here, this Steve has been wearing Vans more than anybody in this whole place here, because he's been the loyalist Van fan ever, back in the 70s. And you know, him and his brother growing up, and he always had Vans, and I really want to say thank you so much, Steve, for always being there and wearing the product and going to those pools and, you know, striving to make all of us here proud that we're all in the skateboard world and stuff. But Steve Caballero, got to travel a lot with him, but first signature shoe, we're so honored, you know, back in 1988, my dad sold the company and we started designing the shoe. In 89, the first full cab came out, 92, the half cab. But honestly, the longest running signature shoe ever in the world, Steve Caballero. Beat I never skateboarded. We actually do have some film. Back when I was 8 years old, we moved to California from Boston, and I'm on a board with metal wheels going down the sidewalk at my house and stuff, but never did. I just wanted to find talent and go and have it go around the world and stuff. And being able to travel with Christian, Steve, Tony, Steve, people all that we get to travel around the world and see people. And everywhere I go, any airport, no matter where we go, these guys attract the skateboarders because it's a big family community and stuff. But I'm honored today. Thank you very much for creating that first one, and thank you for creating today for us.
Yeah.
All right.
And here we are today. So thanks, Howard. Thanks, you girls, for amazing rings. Yeah, it's an honor for sure, and especially everything that Christian said. It's a great honor to be in the sport for so long. I'm 6 years old. I'm still trying to be a professional skateboarder. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but I used to laugh at this guy at the comedy for stretching.
Who stretches now?
I'm stretching now.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, be careful who you make fun of. Because it's payback time and I'm feeling it. He was way ahead of our time as far as like skating in your 60s and preparing yourself. And yeah, you have to take care of your body, not only mentally, but physically as well, and to enjoy what we enjoy. And skateboarding is a very dangerous sport, but it's also very exciting, and it's brought all these relationships with all these people. And when I got inducted in 2010, I had to describe what that meant to me to be entered in the Hall of Fame, and all I could come up with was, it's the relationships that you build in this community that means more than all the accolades, the placings, the fame and fortune. But it's all you guys that came here today to help celebrate, and it's these guys here that I have relationships with and friendships, hopefully still. But yeah, so I'm very thankful to be here and honored.
This guy, we really all wouldn't be here without guys like Steve Alba. Winning the first contest, Spring Valley. Him and his brother, their dual incredible attitudes. Was synonymous in skateboarding. They were the best and they were the gnarliest, but they were also just passionate about what they do. And Steve, I remember meeting him probably the first time at Upland, and because my dad managed Marina Del Rey, I think I got a little bit of a juice card with the guys, because it was known that I was that kid, but I was shredding a little bit, you know what I mean? And when I came, Mickey and Steve are the guys. They run the park. They're the gatekeepers of Upland. And it's the man pool of the world. It still is till this day. There's not a pool that has been any gnarlier than that pool. And when I got there, I just remember seeing Steven, and I was like, there he is, that's the dude. And there's Mickey, they're the dudes. I've seen him in the mags. But it wasn't just that, it was how they controlled the pool and how everybody... We make you do. And you get vetted, you get there's a school of hard knocks back in the day. These kids these days, they don't got that. They got parents hovering around them and you can't do anything and all this stuff. But back in our day, it was like hazing almost. It was like, you want to skate the pool? All right. They're like, you got a frontside roll in first, go before or you can't skate. And I was like, sick. Because me and Pat Noho, congratulations, Pat Noho just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's my mentor and one of my best friends, but I just remember me and Pat doing frontside roll-ins in the deep end at the Dog Bowl Marina, and it was just like key. Me and Salva were just talking about it was kind of like the North Wall at Upland. And we would play tag, and I would roll in right there and lose everybody. Me and Pat. And so when I got there and he said that, it's kind of like, it was the gnarliest thing to do back in that day. And I just remember going, thank you. that he chose that one, right? And I just go and I do it, and they're like, dude, sick, you can skate. And everybody, like, you can't skate unless you frontside roll in the deep end and upland. You're screwed. But that's these guys' like punk rock, almost like, I just remember them being punk. But the Badlands was a place for proving grounds. It was not only a place for proving grounds, but it evolved with skateboarding. It brought all the best. Caballero has some of his most, one of my favorite photos of him doing a backside boneless in that pool, and just the Caballero that he has a sequence in that pool was just iconic times. But that's where these guys were born and raised, and they commanded respect around the world. And I think that that's something that, you know, skateboarding's had that has kept skateboarding so unique in its style. Starting with Jim Muir's in the house. Give it up for Jim Muir. Legendary Jim Muir. You know, with Dogtown, still running Dogtown, he knows all what I'm talking about because they started all this stuff. You know, the localization, you know, heckling, and just, you know, really. It really is. It's how you taught your friends how to elevate themselves. Today, you got all these soft kids that are just like, dude, you're lame doing that. Oh, I'm lame. You know what I mean? Oh, why'd you call me lame? It's called encouragement. Don't be lame. You know what I mean? I do this all the time. I talk about it. This is like my little lesson, but you know, that's what these guys took on, and they did. And but he's a family man. He's got boys that are incredible. They're incredible skaters. They're incredible boys. Jules is here, his wife. Beside every, you know, good man is a strong woman, and she's just incredible. Supports him like no other. He's the king of backyard pools. The master. Not only is he like skates the most, but he rips the most. This guy is an example to all of us, like Caballero said about his stretching. You know, I used to stretch because of Bruce Lee back when I used to enter contests, but he was ahead of the game because he saw the longevity of it. And he proved the longevity of it. And it's truly incredible how much you inspired me, Steve, to want to be healthy, to want to keep skating. And I know that's resonating with everybody here. You know, for us to follow you is another thing, right? You know, everybody has their own like little strongholds that, you know, you got family, you got to do this, you got a job. But we need to take some notes from Steve on how to take care of your body so that you can skate pretty much forever, because I mean, the way that I look at it, he's just still getting started. He's still shredding backyard pools. I can't wait to go and, you know, come on his like road trips to hit up all the backyard pools and just be part of that, because that's the heartbeat of skateboarding right there. Vertical skateboarding came from a backyard swimming pool. Herbie Fletcher doing a frontside 64, I believe, over the light. I think it's like that's where it all started. Vertical skateboarding would not be here if it wasn't for that and wasn't for him keeping that fire lit.
Put me on the spot. How did you top that? Anyhow, it's a great honor to be here. Again, we're just hyped to be here at Howard Shop. I'm really stoked to be here with Carlos, my man here. I've been, you know, me and him kind of met some years ago. We've been talking ever since then, skating. You know, the thing is, the skateboard world, again, like Steve says here, it's not about all the accolades and all the contests you won and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's part of it. But the major part is this. It's what I say, the grassroots part of it, where you get to meet and greet people. We just talk about skateboarding and all the stuff we like, skateboarding, art, music, and that's what we're all here for. That's why we're here today. And the fact that I'm here with Steve Van Doren and Steve Caballero, I mean, that's, you know, I remember buying my first Vans shoes back on Hope Boulevard in Montclair, way back. I mean, we're talking like 73, 74, right? And then again, this goes back to Jim Muir and the Dogtown guys. Those were the first guys I saw with the two-tone Vans. So I wanted to buy my two-tone Vans, which I bought a blue, a yellow, and a blue. And on the other side, I had a red, a green, and a red. And I was so proud of those shoes. And I worked and mowed lawns and everything to get to, you know, I think at that point, like $22 or something like that. I don't think I'm an 80s skater, but you got to remember, I came from the 70s. And so people who were in the 70s who still skate today, that's kind of a rare breed, to be honest with you, because, you know, I mean, that's 50-some years at this point. But knowing that, you know, that you've skated in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and 2000 and all the way to now, I mean, that's, you almost have to kind of like reinvent yourself, kind of somewhat, and kind of keep relevant with everything. And like Christian says, I've always just spoke my mind and say what I say, and sometimes people pisses people off. And granted, hey, I've had some great arguments with this guy over the years, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's the love when it all comes down to it, because you know what, we all know, like, we've been through so much together, and you throw all that crap out the window, like, even if we're mad at each other, like, we'll call each other back up. I mean, Mr. Van Doren is so important to us as far as Susan. I mean, he came to my dad's funeral, my memorial. I mean, this is how. I mean, this guy is like, you know, he's in my opinion, there's no better dude in skateboarding except for Mr. Van Doren. You know, also the terrorists and people like that. You know, but there's only certain people that kind of go and are at all the events and cook hot dogs for us and make food for us. And, you know, oh, you need a pass for Steve for your wife? That's him. You know, he'll give me the pass for my wife and stuff. So that's, you know, the Vans thing has been always super killer. So just the fact that I'm here with you guys, I mean, it's a thrill. You know what I mean? Now I get to play some guitar, which is great too. But again, the honor is all mine, and thank you for being here. Thanks for Stevie for, you know, all the trips we've been on. Thanks for Christian and Howard. And again, thanks for Carlos, man. Got to skate soon.
All right, this is the ring presentation.
Drum roll, please.
Yes.
Let's see it.
There it is. Let's see you guys all hold the box up first. Keep it in the box. You get presented the box, then we'll have you put on the rings and shoot photos with the rings. We'll do a whole shoot. There you go.
Nice close up.
You can present the rings. There you go. There you go. There you go. Nice. How incredible is that? The craftsmanship. There you go. Steve and Doren. All right. There you go. Turn the rings around, gentlemen. Put them all together, and whoever needs a photo or video, you got right now. Here. All right, right there. Look at me, guys. There you go, right there. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I got mine. And I meant the photo. By the way, I got a ring too. Now put the rings on. And Eric, big shout out to Eric Dressen in the house. Give it up for Eric Dressen. He's in the house. If Eric want to come up and show your ring as well, Lonnie at the very end will get a ring, like little photo. All the
right here, guys.
Okay, everyone look at Ray. Move in, Steve. There you go. There you go. There you go. Nice. That's right. Power Rangers activate. Rings up. Rings close. Everybody in? One more.
Christian, you want me to get yours, Christian?
Hold it. Yeah, is it? Did I get it?
You got a few, but go ahead. Ready?
There you go. There you
1, 2, let's go.
Nice. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Rings up.
All right, rings. Oh yeah, rings up. There you go.
For real. Oh, I don't have
Gotcha, thank you.
Hall of Famers.
Thank you.
Boom.